on fishing. Fishing obviously is a sport. Dr. Johnson once famously remarked that to Boswell, when asked about fishing, he said it's an activity in which you have a fool at one end and an idiot at the other, or some such. He was pretty dismissive, but it's actually a very interesting and serious subject, and it's been my one great passion, because if I think of my hobbies, playing the guitar or playing with trains, the one that obsessed me from the age of about 11 or 12 until my late 20s was fishing. I did a little coarse fishing, as it's called, that is for fish you can't really eat, when I came back to England as a little boy, and I remember my first perch at Oxford, age of 5, and a little more fishing in Dorset, but not until we went to the Lake District and I encountered trout. Trout are game fish. They put up a good fight. They're difficult to catch. And we lived in the Lake District, and later I went to school in a good fishing area in Yorkshire. And so from then on, my passion, and I must have spent a quarter of the time I wasn't actually working, thinking about preparing for or going fishing, because fishing was all the year-round activity. You could only fish from March to September, but the other 6 months you were drawing up plans and maps and seeing to your tackle and reading fishing magazines and imagining your last year's triumphs and your next year's triumphs. So this was something that absorbed you. And as well as the fishing I did in the Lake District, I also used to go fishing in Scotland with my father, and later in the Outer Hebrides where they lived. And it bonded me to my father. He was a very keen fisherman, and we didn't have a great deal intellectually to discuss, but we both loved fishing. And when I went out to Assam a couple of times, I did some fishing, and particularly the second time, marcia fishing, great big sporting fish in the Himalaya mountains coming down into Assam. So there were varieties of fishing. So why is it so important? Well, it obviously takes you out into beautiful surroundings at nice times of day, late in the evening when you wouldn't normally be out, or on spring days. So it's combined with that. And in fishing, all kinds of fishing, even float fishing, you concentrate. All the worries and other things around you tend to disappear as you concentrate on the fly or the float. And yet the concentration allows your mind also some relaxation and freedom. And that's why I've often thought it's very like Zen Buddhist meditation. There, the four kinds of meditation are drinking tea, meditating, walking, and feeding fish. Well, if you add a fifth, which is catching fish, not necessarily to kill them, because increasingly I didn't like the idea of killing fish, but in the battle against another intelligence. And I think this is something I've begun to realize, that a fish is a living creature, and it's very astute. And our ancient hunter-gatherer genes for centuries have taught us the delight of outwitting, outmaneuvering another animal. And so fishing is pitting your intelligence and your skills, learning an art, because obviously you can't just fly fish without learning the art, and then following your hunches and intuitions, making things as simple as possible, and then the outcome of that is something which you can share with your friends, discuss, maybe eat, and it fills your imagination, as it does mine, with memories of moments beside deep Yorkshire streams and the flash deep down of a golden side, and then the tug on your line, and then the triumph as you pulled out an unusual fish. So it's a wonderful sport, but I don't do it anymore.